Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome everybody back to another Monday night at Heroes and Hooligans, where we are playing Vanished in the Ashes, a Babes and Blades campaign. Last week, our party of adventurers met a dragon that wasn't Falcor. Somebody's echoing back pretty bad. There we go. All right. So they met a dragon that wasn't Falcor. They found out that his name was Arendar, and they played through his dream sequence. And they had that little, side thing go on the way to go to where they were meaning to go. So we last left them with a giant drunken dragon outside of their cave where they were resting. And I'm going to roll it over to them. Oh, you guys.
That was nice. Good morning.
It was a dream?
I think so.
It was a pretty good dream.
It was a pretty good dream. I've never had a dream where all my friends are there.
I think that was the first time I had something make sense in dreams, which is really weird. But it was nice. It was nice.
Is our ride still what's the word I'm looking for? Tossed out. Is our ride still tossed out? Did you go out there and look yet? No.
Vex will hop outside to see how Falcor is doing.
I'm maybe not the best person for that. So you hop outside, Vex, and you see Falcor laying on his back with his legs in the air, kind of like rolling around, stretching himself out a little bit, like scratching his back on the ground like the cutest puppy, but a giant dragon instead. And he kind of like rolls his head towards you and looks at you and says, "That was fucking awesome."
Well, I'm glad you had a good time, because we kind of did too. But I think we have things we're supposed to be doing. So, can you fly?
Yeah, I think so. And he kind of like stretches his wings out under him and flips himself over, flaps them a little bit, and then he says, "Pretty good drive, kids." Yeah, I think I got this.
Guys, he's okay. He thinks he can fly, and
he thinks he can fly. You
hear
Falcor start singing from the outside. "I believe I can fly."
Well, that's more than the rest of us can do.
Yeah.
Still not entirely confident.
I mean,
that we're not going to plunge to our deaths.
Well, chances are we're going to die on this adventure one way or the other. So
it's only death. What's the big deal?
That's an adventure of itself, right?
Everything dies eventually.
I've never died before. It would be a first.
What if we're already
everything
dead?
dies eventually. I just like it to be later rather than right now.
It happens when it happens.
Falcor uses his tail and slides the basket around towards like the front of him for everybody to get into. And he says, there are worse fates than death, right?
Vex is going to like vault into the basket in one hop because she really wants to get off this mountain.
Audra climbs in.
Gonna climb in.
And there
are worse things than death.
Again, let's just have it not be right this minute. If only because there's people depending on us, and if we die, that's going to be very inconvenient for them.
That's true. Are you getting in the basket, Finka, or am I going to have to hop out and pull you in?
Getting in the fucking basket. Okay, so everybody gets in the basket.
In the basket.
Falcor lifts off from the air, grabs the basket, and you head off back north in the direction you were probably meant to be going in the first place, but dragon shenanigans, and he's bigger than you are, higher in the food chain. So get in his basket. And in the basket. So you start flying north out of Talon's Claw back towards Hala. And just, time passes by fairly, quickly. It's the morning. Even though he was extremely inebriated the night before, Falcor seems to be tip-top shape today in flying at the speed of sound, moving very quickly. And as soon as you cross over Rig and you can kind of see the mountain range where Cora's people were and where you had been before, you feel Falcor start to descend kind of early from your projected flight path, and his slowing kind of stops, and he starts to, you hear him muttering, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. Oh, fuck. And then he comes to a stop in the air, and he says, we have to land, and we have to land now. And he brings you down to the ground.
You're the one with the wings.
Why? Why?
Yeah, what's wrong, Falcor?
Some business I am not meant to be involved in, and this looks like a problem for you. And
A problem for us.
Yes, he sets you down on this kind of windy road right at the edge of Rig and Hap, and he puts the basket down and doesn't even bother to wait for you to get out. He just leaves the basket and flies off.
Goodbye.
What the fuck, man?
Bye. Goodbye.
Where the fuck are we?
Think
And
up.
what kind of
We're
trouble
on
is better
road.
for us to resolve than a gigantic fucking dragon? That seems like any...
Just be happy he's gone, Finka. You don't have to deal with him now.
But what
Can I
did he
look
drop us in the
around?
middle of?
To see what he may have dropped us in the middle of? If we look around, do we see anything?
Perception check, please.
You find yourself, like I said, at the edge of Rig and Hala. And
Where's my map?
yeah, you should have the map, the other map.
Rig and Hala, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a vague idea of where we are.
So
Hala is where we were going.
yeah.
Right? So we made it most of the way. He just dropped us off a little early.
He dropped you off at the edge. He didn't take you to any particular place, kind of on this windy road in some trees somewhere, and leaves you there.
Okay. I will consult our map. And I suppose we can walk.
Not as
We need
great
to
as
go that way.
flying, but it'll do.
Honestly, I'd rather walk, but we were promised a ride, so
Well, let's see what trouble we can get into this way.
it's fine. Like I said,
Wait.
that way. We gotta go that way.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
sir.
landed on the left side of the map, which is the western border of Hala and Rig. If you look at if you look at the Sumerkula map, you're right where Hala and Rig touch. There's sort of two mountain ranges there, and there's an opening kind of gappy area in the center. That's
Yeah.
area kind of where you are.
Gotcha.
So the west side of this map would lead back to Rig, and the right side of the map heads farther into Hala.
Okay. Gotcha. So at least we know where we are.
Yes, you do.
Is there any evidence of this whatever trouble Falcor decided was beneath him?
You haven't seen anything, no.
I guess the only thing to do, guys, is follow the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already out and walking the moment I heard a direction to go.
Cora, wait up. Don't, no, wait up.
What? What? We're supposed
So
to go
technically, on
this
this
way.
map, it would be that way.
Pinko said go this way. I was going the right way. What am I doing wrong?
Well, you left without
No,
us.
you're fine.
Yes, and you're all very fast. And I
Maybe
was
just
walking.
don't get too far ahead
Okay.
in case there's actually trouble.
So you start heading down the road when a shadow casts over the road above you, and you hear the beating of wings. They sound very similar to Falcor's wings, but much bigger and much more powerful. As you hear this sort of loud dragon roar, and you see a line of fire shoot across the road in front of you. And if you look up, you see a very, very gargantuan sized red dragon. And mounted on the back of this red dragon, you see a large Leonin, all black fur. He's wearing an all black cape as well, but you can see there's like a red dragon emblazonment on the front of his cape. And two smaller little worm-like dragons fly behind the big one, each having a bandit standing atop it. And the big dragon lands in the road in front of you, and the large Leonin steps off of his back.
That was rude.
You're blocking the road. Do you mind?
He doesn't say anything until the other two little dragons land and let his two minions off. And he sort of stands in the face of you. Where is the Leonin?
You're a Leonin.
We leave her. Is she with us? I don't actually know.
You do not have Osaga, Theory, or Athena with you.
We don't know. They kind of wanted to take the long way around, spend more time exploring the mountain, so we don't actually know where they are.
Not with us.
Do you know where they are?
If I knew where she was, I wouldn't be here asking you.
Not with us. I think that's about as much information as we have. Can we go now?
I don't believe you. Where are you hiding her? And one of the bandits launches a flaming arrow from behind him, and it lands sort of at your feet.
Well, she's not right there.
That was extremely rude.
You're very rude.
Search the bushes.
She's
not here.
She's not with us.
I mean, I don't know where you think we're hiding a giant cat person, but
none of our backpacks are quite that big. And Osaga was the one who wore big princess skirts that you probably could have hit a person underneath, but she's not here either, so...
I'm close enough, right? I'm covered in fur.
I want the Leonin woman.
Well,
not here.
Just because you want something does not mean you can have it. That is life.
She has something that belongs to me, and I will take what is mine.
Can you prove it's yours?
That sounds a lot like a you problem and less like a me problem.
also, what does she have that you think is yours?
What business is that of yours?
You're the one asking where she's at. We were just moseying along.
She has a point. She has a point.
I do not think you know the company you keep.
No, actually, we don't.
No.
Nope, we only met her like a couple weeks ago.
And as you can see, she's not here. So we
Yeah, I feel like
technically
that's the
aren't
really
in her
important part.
company.
The part about she not being here.
So can we go now, or are we just gonna be stuck here until she gets here? Because, I mean, that's fine too, but that feels like it's gonna get very boring very quickly. And I
Yeah,
have
no,
a
that's not
very
actually fine. She's nicer than the rest of us.
He kind of whistles, and another arrow launches from the other bandit and lands at Cora's feet. As you see the giant Leonin sort of step onto the back of the dragon, and this is not the last you will see of me.
We don't even know who you are.
Yeah, can we tell her who's looking for her? If we see her again?
He doesn't answer. He leaves.
You're kind of
Hi,
a dick.
Felicia.
If you
Sure.
two are exes, she's better off without you. Move on. Goodbye.
Hey, another cat person was looking for you. There can't be many, right?
I don't know.
I like ours better.
No. And she smells better.
I'm not sure I like any cat people right now, but I've only met 2.
So, 50-50.
I feel like our sample size is maybe a bit skewed at this point.
We have no
Well,
control group.
that was weird, and I wish there was some way to warn Athena. I don't feel good about that interaction, but I don't know that there's much that can be done about it at this point.
Cora calmly holds up
Oh,
the
wait.
sending stone. Like, we can let
It
her
says in my
go?
notes that we have presents.
Yeah, we have sending stones. We could just...
So maybe it would be polite to warn Athena and the others that there's maybe some less than cordial company that they may be about to have.
Vex is gonna hold up her sending stone and start yelling into it.
I don't think you have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's never really had a sending stone, and she's convinced that the only way Athena can hear her is if she yells really loud.
It's like your grandmother yelling into her cell phone.
Yes, exactly.
Well, as long as the message is passed, I suppose. If it's a little loud, that's fine. Right then. Can I take a look around and just make sure there's not any other, rude-looking people in the sky about to land on top of us?
Sure, roll me a perception.
Perception should be pretty good. What would you say our environment is right now?
It's about midday. You're in the foresty it's kind of foresty, kind of not. Lanesy, mountainy. You wouldn't really be at advantage because you're not in a full forest.
Okay, that was my question. Not enough for advantage. Oops, that was cocked. And then again. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. 19.
You don't see any other dragons or anything in the sky.
Okay, I think the coast is clear, at least for the moment. So let's make a bit of headway, shall we?
Should we do something about these arrows that are on fire? Because I feel that's going to be an issue later if we don't put them out.
Are they still on fire, or are they just arrows stuck in the ground at this point?
The arrow is stuck in the ground, but you can see like it's still got some flame burning up it. It's not a whole lot as much as it was. It's starting to die down some, but whatever sticky substance was used to make the fuel has continued to burn even with the arrow being stuck. Maybe it's designed purpose as such.
Can I like stamp on it with my giant rabbit feet?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Let's put that shit out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, would be shame if we like came back and the whole forest had burned down.
It would
that
be a gigantic
very
shame.
bad.
Let's not do that.
That's not good at all.
Alrighty though, let's keep going.
Okay.
Sorry. Notes.
So you sort of head along this path, and it starts leading you further into the area that you're heading. And you notice that the surroundings sort of start to change, and it goes from being like mountainous and foresty to kind of more marshy, lowlandsy, and swampy.
Oh, this is not
new.
good for my fur.
Oh, this is interesting. It feels very weird here. I don't know if I like it yet.
Oh, I don't think you should like it. It's moist.
Sticky. Well, hopefully it won't be this way for very long.
Everything's kind of fuzzy. It's weird.
Fuzzy is a good way to describe it, Cora. That's pretty much what we all can see right now.
Let's well, it can't last forever, right?
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I have no idea what this continent is made out of, so that's maybe a lie. I have no idea.
I mean, it feels like the fuzziness goes on for quite a while.
Seems that way, but we don't know enough about this place to know if it's worth going around. So I think we just have to punch through.
Okay.
So it is kind of odd, a swamp so close to mountains. Anyone else think that's weird?
A little.
Maybe. It sort of depends on what's on the other side of this swamp. If there's a large river that empties out here, or I have no idea what the weather patterns are. It's possible that the clouds hit the mountains and then they sort of can't get over the mountains, so they just dump right here, and therefore lots of excess water. I have no idea. I don't know the geography here.
Well, I do imagine that river would be nice after the yuck of a swamp. I'd need a bath. My fur.
Absolutely.
My poor fur.
I'm sure there will be higher ground eventually. And by sure, I mean there'll either be higher ground or there'll be an ocean. Those are honestly the only two possibilities.
So
I'm not sure those are the only possibilities.
as you're sort of traveling and talking about the scenery around you, you see, like, as the trees sort of start to break away, there's like this sort of like craggy area. It's very rocky on the other side of these trees, but it's still like very swampy. And you see that the rocks sort of form shapes and paths ahead of you in the sort of center of this swamp area.
Does it look like game trails?
No.
Like places where animals would have walked?
No.
Okay.
So the rocks, like if you look at your map here, the black kind of objecties there on the screen, that's sort of like the rocky structures you're seeing, where they look kind of like they maybe used to be battlements or something.
So they look man-made, not natural.
They're very natural looking, but in resemblance to something that could have been man-made. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting weird.
And you sort of are approaching these structures from top left of the map there.
All right. Well, let's keep going, but let's make double sure that we're still heading east, even though we're going to have to go around these rocky bits. And also maybe keep your ears open since we can't see in front of us very well.
I don't know how to close my ears.
I mean,
I'm just saying, let's maybe be a bit quiet and make sure that nobody can sneak up on us from behind one of these rocky bits.
They'd have to be really quiet to sneak up on Cora. But okay.
Let's make it as easy as possible for Cora to let us know.
okay. So, what way are we going?
East. That way.
Okay. And she just starts wandering off. Not a care in the world.
Cora, darling, maybe a bit slower. You're pretty quiet, but some of the rest of us aren't.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, keeping all of the ears open, all of them. And I think since Cora's got ears covered, I may be looking up at the tops of those rocky bits.
Vex is definitely looking at the ground, trying to find more pretty rocks to add to her collection.
And Kadra will be in the back of the troop, making sure nothing comes up behind them.
Excellent.
You are walking into this place and you don't see anybody around you when you look up. There's the rocks on the ground are just sort of like a dull gray. Looks like the water that runs over them frequently, as it's marshy and boggy, kind of has taken any shine that it had. You can see all kinds of decomposing organic matter combined with the salt water of the bog, flooding in and out, kind of how they do. You can see the lines on the bigger rocks where the water will raise and lower. And you can definitely tell you're in a swampy, marshy, boggy area because there is a pungent and distinctive rotten egg smell.
Isn't
But
nature
the marsh
wonderful? Isn't
the water
nature
is salt?
wonderful?
Yeah, it's salt water.
Okay. So there's probably an ocean nearby. Keep slogging ahead, I guess.
So, which way do you go when you come past that, like, first section there, where there's like the way you can go to the right on the map, which would be your left, but we'll talk in terms of the map. Would you have gone right there, or would you have continued on to like the little straightforward path that's on the far edge?
I mean, I'm going to try to keep us going east as much as possible. the direction that we need to be going.
So
And
west
only
is
turn when I have to.
west is at the top of the map where you came in, and east
Yeah.
is at the bottom. It's just a sideways instead of long ways.
Yeah. Wait, okay, where are we coming in on the map? It looks like there's sort of two entrances.
Top left.
Top left. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I mean, if I kind of take a look, it looks like straight down is the easiest path.
So
Keep going in the direction we want to be going.
give me 1 second here. Lala made a point to me about being able to draw on the map for you guys. 1 second. Okay, let me see if it'll let me click that. Yeah, okay. All right, so you would be coming in up here is the direction you're sort of moving here.
Okay. I mean, if I can see that there's a way kind of over on the left to kind of keep going down, I think.
Yeah, you can see there are around you as you move in further. All of these little things that you're seeing here are mushrooms, very large, giant mushrooms, lots of them. And you can see around and through them as you kind of find yourselves like up in this general area. Like once you would get to where this is here, you can see the opening on the left side here.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to direct us that way.
Okay.
Let me draw a thing here. How about that? Oh, no. Okay. I guess I need to. Is it going to make a box? Yeah, there we go. All right. Give me the straight one. Thank you. All right. So you would be. Why? Why you do this? So you're going to go this way here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So once you kind of get around those couple of mushrooms there, the big ones there, right there, you hear this sort of creaking and groaning sound, and what sounds like a snap in the direction behind you, like how a tree would snap. And when you turn around, you see that the very large mushroom behind you has kind of stood up. And when he like went to move his leg, that's what made the snapping noise. And you see two very large mushroom creatures behind you with several 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other little tiny guys, 3 at each of their feet. That is going to put us into initiative. I have rolled initiative for you because I have used the combat tracker today, something I don't usually do. Cora, you are at the top of initiative with a 21.
Oh dear. Okay. There's a lot of enemies. Okay. Then I don't have that spell yet.
You know, I'm not sure I've ever had to fight my food.
What can I do?
That's literally what I do.
I mean, that could work.
Some of it fights harder than others. Theirs in particular. Tasty, but a lot of effort.
Okay. I think what Cora's gonna do is she's gonna very calmly tap her staff on the ground and oh, I get to see. Beautiful. I can see them.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it where you can see them.
No, you're good. That may change things. Let me look at this again. Within range. Each creature than you. Oh, yeah, we maybe don't want to do that one. Never mind. This one could work, though. Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. Well, excuse my shitty drawings here because it's not working the way I want it to.
You're good.
Oh, now it
Alright.
does. Motherfucker. All right. So anyway, you got 6 little guys in the back and 2 big guys in front of you.
Okay. Just gonna very calmly tap the staff on the ground, and you just hear a loud thunder ring erupt from it. Gonna use Thunder Wave. So
Okay.
that would be a 15-foot cone. So I'm not sure how many of those I'm gonna get, but
4 and 4. So one or the other.
okay. I'm good with either option.
Okay.
It's gonna be 4 or 4 either way, so that's fine. I need them all to make a Constitution saving throw. And let me just go ahead and
All right. What is the spell save DC for that?
that is 12.
All right. So I've got a 15 from the big one. And we'll go with the little guys here. I have 1 fail. 1 pass. 2 pass. So only 1 failed.
Okay. That one's going to take the full 15 damage and be pushed 10 feet back, and the others take half damage. Double check. Yeah, half damage.
Which is 7, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, that's an action.
the 3 little guys die. They kind of like shriek and wither and die at that loud thunderclap. And the big one sort of groans and sways in the movement of the thunder there.
Sorry to bother you, but we honestly don't have time for this. If you could go away, that would be wonderful. End of turn.
And you see that big guy kind of, when he groans and sways, you see like a poof of spore clouds sort of shoot out from his head. And who is in the front other than Cora? Because Cora, I'm assuming, moved, so you guys didn't get thunder waved.
Well,
Yeah.
is it the front or did they come up behind us?
It would have been behind you, but I
That
didn't
would be
know
me.
you moved. Okay, Kadra.
So I was in our front, but that would be in the back now, essentially.
Yes, the back now, yes.
Kadra, weren't you kind of keeping up the caboose?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Be Kadra back there. All right, Kadra. You see these 3 tiny little mushroom guys shoot towards you, and they come at you, little fist ablazing. I've got a
Okay.
16, 15, 18. Do
The
it.
18 will hit.
18 only. So you will take only 1 poison damage.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Bex, it is your turn.
Okay, so Vex is gonna go ahead and cast a Chaos Bolt at the one that Cora already hit.
That
that one?
sounds delightful.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say, well, let me see if I actually hit first. 13 to hit.
The big one?
Yeah.
That does hit.
That does hit. Okay. So I get to choose which type of damage it is.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with fire.
Okay.
And that is going to be 11 fire damage.
Okay. Was that EOT for you, Vex?
Yes.
Okay. Finka.
Okay. I am going to take a shot at the big one. Actually, no. Wait. I can cast spells now.
Woohoo!
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the big one.
Yes.
The already damaged one or the not damaged one?
The not damaged one.
Okay.
And then I'm a shooting. That's a fucking natural 20.
All right.
Nice.
So go ahead and roll another D20 and see if you nat 20 again, because if you do, it'll be an auto kill. That's my little nat 20 business there.
Awesome. All right, let's see what we get. That's a 7.
Okay. All right. So you're going to have roll your damage and then double your damage.
Okay. Hunter's Mark included?
Yeah. All your damage on a critical is doubled at my table. Not by raw rules, at my table.
Okay. That's a 6 and a 5. 11 plus 4 is 15. 15 piercing damage.
How much was it? I'm sorry.
15
total. Okay. Is that EOT for you?
That's it.
All right. Kadra.
The two big mushrooms.
Mhm.
Where are they with those X's? I'm sorry.
The two center X's are the big mushrooms, and then those three little X's are the ones that bum rushed you. I just didn't move them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I am going to take a swing at the big one in the middle. It's right in front of me.
Okay.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. And that would be 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, slashing damage.
Okay.
And I will stay right where I'm at.
All right. EOT for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first one. The one on the bottom there that Cora hit first. He is going to do a thing.
I love things.
Yeah.
I love things.
I get
Yeah.
the feeling we're not going to like this thing.
Do things hurt?
They
I
might.
think things hurt.
Yeah, that's half the fun.
Smell really bad.
Cora
The
and
mushroom.
Kadra. I want Cora and Kadra both to make me Constitution saving throws.
Okay. That's going to be a 13.
Okay.
4.
Kadra, 4. All right. So
Ooh.
both of you are now stunned for the next minute.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a thing. That's a bad thing.
You
Oh,
see this
no.
this large mushroom sort of take one step forward, and as he lumbers forward, these spores sort of begin to shoot out of him in the area right around him where Kadra and Cora are. And these spores sort of tingle and feel like a little electrifying as they touch your skin. And you see Kadra and Cora just kind of like get zapped right there, and they're just kind of stunned in their position where they're just like, you know.
Okay, no action, no reaction.
All right.
Okay.
So that's that mushroom. The next mushroom. He will swing.
Of the woods.
He will do nothing because nat 1. So when he goes to punch somebody, he punches himself and he dies because he only had 1 HP left. And I think it's there. All right. That brings it
Wonderful.
to Cora.
I am stunned.
You can make the saving throw again
Okay.
at the end of your turn. So if you can't do anything, obviously it's the end of your turn. You can make that same save.
Okay.
It's a DC 14.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So you're still stunned?
I'm just vibing. I'm vibing.
Okay. So the little guys that punched tried to punch at Kadra before. Vex did this. Oh yeah, you did go. I was gonna say, wait a damn minute. Did I skip you? But I didn't skip you. All right, so we'll see if these little guys can punch again. No, he doesn't punch anything. He also does not. And he also does not. All right, so they can't punch. They're tiny. Vex, your turn.
I am going to go ahead and cast that Chaos Bolt again.
Okay.
At 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be 14 damage.
On the big guy?
On the big guy. And
He's
then I rolled 2 7s, which means my Chaos Bolt splits and can hit a second target.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun.
So it 10 to hit on one of the little guys.
Beats it.
Okay. So one of them will take. Why is my computer going really slow all of a sudden? 8 damage.
Just one of them?
Just one of them.
All right, he dies.
Hooray! I killed it.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be end of turn for me.
Okay. Pinka.
Me. Okay. I'm going to shoot again at the one that I hunters marked.
He's dead.
Oh, then in that case, I will use my bonus action
Remove
to move the hunter's mark.
Yep.
To the biggest one that's still up.
Nope, just 2 tiny boys.
Okay, well then, the tiny boy on the right.
Sure.
Okay, let's see here. That's a natural 18. I'm guessing that hits.
Yes.
Right. Ooh, okay. 6 and 4 is 10, and 4 is 14 piercing damage.
He dies.
Wow.
All right. Is that EOT for you?
It's it.
All right, Kadra, you're still stunned.
Yep.
You get to make your con save again.
I'm gonna look at him real mean.
The one that stunned you got dead, so.
I'm gonna look at his brother real mean, or sister, or other mushroom. That is a 21, though.
All right, so you're unstunned.
Okay.
But your save is at the end of your turn, so it skips over you until the next round anyway.
Yes.
Cora, you are still stunned. Roll your save.
Okay. 15. I'm good.
Yep, you are unstunned, and that is at the end of your turn. So the last little mushroom guy that lives, he says, "There's not a mushroom out there that can touch me. If you don't believe me, run up and try to punch me." And he says, "Does he punch you?" He doesn't punch you. He tried. He only had an 8. He did not have a good punch. He tried.
He tried so hard.
He did.
He did his best. He's just a little guy.
And he got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Yeah, Vex, it's your turn. I could see you chuckling at me.
He's just a little guy. Little fun guy.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and firebolt this last little guy. That is a 20 to hit, not a natural 20.
Oh yeah, that hits him.
And so that's gonna be 8 damage.
Yep, he dies.
Hooray!
We lived.
We killed mushrooms, guys.
I don't want to eat those.
No, I don't think these are the yummy kind, unfortunately. That makes me sad.
Are we sure, though? Are we sure?
I mean, no.
I don't think I want to take a bite out of him, considering that he farted and we couldn't move.
Also, I think they're a little charred now.
Then we just don't have to cook them now.
They're tenderized.
Is there a check I can make to see if eating these things will murder us?
Or do we let Cora just go to town?
I'd rather she didn't, like...
You could roll a nature. But bear in mind that Cora has spent enough time in the wild and on their own that they probably could smell a mushroom and know whether it's something they should or shouldn't be chewing on or not.
That's true. Cora, what do you think?
Gotta look them over. I assume this is a nature check.
Yes.
Give it a sniff.
Oh, that's 19 plus 2, 21.
All right.
21.
So, yeah, you could eat it if you wanted. Wouldn't hurt you.
She's just gonna tear off a bit of the little one and pop it in her mouth.
It's
fine.
It's kind of tastes like it's kind of nutty flavor, has, you know, the earthiness of a mushroom to it. And then it's got this like extra little spicy singe to it from the remnants of the chaos bolt that Vic smacked it with.
They're very good, actually.
All right. I'll grab some
Cora,
bits and
what does
Put 'em in there.
chaos taste like?
Spicy. It tastes spicy.
I'm okay with that.
You know, that's
Definitely like pulling off several good sized chunks and putting them in the backpack for lunch later.
I'm gonna eat a little bit and then put some in my pocket for my bestie Ulfie.
Okay.
Kadra doesn't like mushrooms.
Don't like mushrooms.
No. I bit one once, it bit back.
But have you tried these mushrooms?
They bit first.
They're very good. But okay, if you don't want, we won't force you.
Maybe once they're cooked. Maybe they'll be better cooked.
I mean, I did kind of cook them with magic.
There's one
chaos.
that's a little cooked.
That's true. I'll try the one that's a little cooked.
Yeah. See? It's very good. It's all nutty and spicy and wonderful.
Vex is gonna start venturing forward, eyeing any mushrooms suspiciously.
I'm gonna grab the 2 arrows that I shot and get them back.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
And then go up with Cora to make sure she doesn't get into trouble.
And we're all just walking.
Did I hear an ice cream truck just now?
You might have. Wasn't me though. All right, so you pack up some of the mushrooms and you continue on your path over here, and you come past this little area here, and you find yourselves at this sort of footpath. And when you find yourselves at this little footpath here, you see that the path leads to this cottage. It's a lit up cottage, and the footpath moves in all different directions through the boggy, swampy area. And you hear a young woman singing inside the cottage.
You know, my elders used to tell me that strange things singing in the swamp or the woods are not always friendly.
I feel like my father told me something similar.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that. Ever. This seems perfectly fine.
Then again, if you didn't know the woods near my family's house, my mother sings while she spells. So, to be fair, my house would be a weird house in the woods with a lady singing in it. That's perfectly fine. So,
It's all context because, if you say, hey, would you like to visit this nice little cabin in the forest? Or, I'm sorry, it's cottage in the forest. That's the one people like. But if you say cabin in the woods, then people look at you weird. And I don't really understand why it's such a big difference.
also, this isn't a forest, it's a swamp, and that adds like a spooky connotation to just about everything.
Or maybe it was really good real estate. And she doesn't have neighbors, so she could have some peace and quiet.
I mean, she has mushroom neighbors.
But it's a swamp.
All I'm saying is let's approach with caution.
Yeah, that.
I think she's gonna be nice. I think so. Yeah.
Do we need to interact at all? Could we just
Well, she might know how to get out of this place without us wandering aimlessly for days on end.
Yeah, I suppose. You and your logic.
And if she's evil, we can kill her and eat her too.
Okay, there's a line, and that was way on the other side of the line from mushrooms.
Wait, I assume she's a mushroom, right?
She might be.
Okay, that
We
makes
don't
it
know.
slightly less creepy, but let's come back on this side of the line.
I mean, the only other things we've seen alive in here are mushrooms. I just assumed this was a mushroom lady.
Did these mushrooms have opposable thumbs? Are they capable of building a structure?
Maybe. We don't know. We didn't ask. We just kind of attacked.
Fine, let's go see if maybe this person can tell us the shortcut to get out of this rather miserable place. But with caution, because swamp house.
Go right up to the door. Knock, knock.
Okay. I think that's enough. I think she can hear you.
I don't know.
As did the rest of the swamp.
I wasn't expecting any guests.
Are you a mushroom?
And this last time I checked, you can't see her, but she's like looking at her arms and her hands and stuff. No, I still have my fleshy bits.
That's a weird.
And she opens the door, and you see this very fair-skinned woman. Hold on. And She is young, but even though you can tell she's young, she has this sort of motherly ambiance to her. She's dressed in like a gold robe, and she has some like little sparkly clear gems around the collar area. She has very fair, youthful skin, and she has brown hair tied back and styled in sort of an elegant manner.
I hope I'm not being rude, but your aesthetic does not match your home.
Well, I got a really, really good deal on the real estate.
There it is.
Validation! Validation!
But there are like giant mushroom things that tried to kill us. Does that make it worth it?
Oh, the Myconids, they're so very sweet. They tried to kill you.
Yeah, they like just jumped out at us, like really alarmingly, kind of. Maybe.
Aggressively.
Yeah. Maybe you startled them. Usually they're not. Well, we don't really get a lot of visitors anymore. Only if people are wanting to do like ceremonies and stuff to try to have a baby, or they really want to get married and they'll come here for that and talk to me, and then they'll even go to their place. A lot of people don't really come here. Maybe they were just frightened of you. You're a very odd bunch.
You're a kitchen witch.
Sure.
Right. I don't suppose we got dropped off near here a bit abruptly. We're not from around here. We're looking to head east. It's a bit difficult traveling in the swampy bits. Is there a shortcut? Can we go around? Are there paths that are a bit less sticky?
Moist.
Well, where exactly is it that you're heading? And I might be able to help.
Further into Holla, we're not sure exactly, but east for sure.
Well, most of Holla is swampy, and then like the southern part is kind of foresty, and then there's some mountains, but a lot of it's really like this.
DM, do we have an idea of where in this continent we are in fact heading?
No, you do not.
Good. That's good.
I find it really strange that kitty people would live in swamplands, because it just really is not good on the fur.
Yeah, that's a decent point.
Kitty people? What do you mean, kitty people?
We're looking for the Leonids.
Yeah, the you know, the big
Leonids.
kitties.
The Leonids. Do you happen to know where the nearest settlement is? That might help.
Yeah, they're the kitty people. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't say that when you walk away from here. I didn't really know what you meant until you said the lions, but don't call them kitty people. They really don't like that. But they have a couple of different settlements. You could head to any number of them, really. They're all spread out.
Are any of them full of really nice kitties? Because we met one and he was a douche.
On a dragon.
Which one is closest?
The one closest to here probably would be I don't know. I would have to look at the map. I don't really go there very often. They kind of keep to themselves.
I will pull out the map that we have that doesn't have any cities on it, but maybe it will be helpful.
So if you're looking at the Sumerkula map, you're in the northwestern section of Hala, where you can see like there's the tube mountain, the break where you came through, and then there's kind of like that lighter green open space that's like the marsh boggy that place that you're in now. The closest Leonin settlement to you is all the way on the east coast of Hala. It's the one that's on the very edge near the ocean. That's the closest one to you.
Wow.
The rest of the Leonin settlements are in the southern lands of Hala.
The little southern bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones that look like they're
only one in this whole northern bit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Who else lives in Hala?
Well, you have the Envash, the Vergash, the Yotnash, and the Yotun.
Do any of those look like cats?
No. Some of them are really big, and some of them look kind of like her, and points to Finka. And some of them are kind of small, and some of them change into anything, so they could look like cats if they wanted to.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Did any of those words mean anything?
Elves, dwarves, giants, and shapeshifters.
Great. That's great.
Have you ever seen anyone that looks like me?
No, but you're really cute.
She gets that a lot.
I could see why.
I knew my
Hi,
people
bud.
didn't come from here, but I just thought I'd ask.
Okay, so if we are heading towards that settlement on the eastern coast, is there a reasonably quick way out of this swamp?
No.
Good.
You are pretty much on foot for now, as far as you know. So you could go directly to the Leonin, or you could go somewhere else. One of the closer settlements first, if you wanted.
Quick question. A few quick questions. One, what's your name?
Oh, my name, it's very, very hard to pronounce for most people, but you could just call me Frigg.
Frigg.
Hi, Frigg. I'm Vex.
It's nice to meet you, Vex. Do you want to come in and have some dinner? I haven't had dinner yet in a long time.
I'm gonna kind of like wrinkle my nose and sniff the air to see if it smells appetizing.
It does. It smells very homey and motherly.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in and throw caution to the wind. Cora, it's dinner time.
Sarah's Norse mythology spidey sense is going off.
Mm-hmm.
Finka wasn't raised particularly religiously. Would her spidey sense be going off at the name of this person?
Also, Kadras.
Yeah. All of you.
Okay.
You're from a point, even if you're not raised religious, you still know
Right.
basic pantheon.
Culturally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the basic
Yeah,
pantheon of your land, culturally so. Vikings are a little bit different. They're not like in a church praying religious people. Obviously, you guys
Right.
are all
Yes,
that.
just
So,
sort of steeped in the culture.
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
gonna go with
I feel
Vex
a lot better
missed
about
out
this
on a lot of
now. So yeah, I'll go in too. I'll
Okay.
make a face probably similar to what I made just now, and then go in.
Yeah, we're going in. Okay. That's fun.
This isn't weird at all. Did you hear what she said her name was? Are we just gonna gloss right over that?
I don't know.
We're just gonna let her make us dinner?
Why? What's the problem?
Would you like help? I feel like we should help you.
I definitely feel like we can help.
I was already making a mushroom and leek stew, but if you want to help make something else, I haven't had bread in a very long time, and I really haven't had any meat either. Do you happen to have any meat?
I'll grab some of the special deer meat out of the pack, like 100%. If there's any occasion for special deer meat, it is right now.
Okay. What do you say when you take it out and you present it to her?
Shit. I think Pika's gonna like pull her backpack off and then start rooting around in it for the special meat. And then she's gonna get it like to the top of the pack where she can look at it, and then it's gonna have an oh shit moment. And like stare at it for a second. Paralyzed with indecision.
Guys, you're all acting weird. What's going on?
Right. Other question.
Outside maybe.
We were told there were like issues around the area. Are there actual issues around the area?
What kind of issues?
I don't know exactly. We were just kind of on our way, and then we were told, oh, there's stuff going on, and I can't get involved. This is a problem for you guys. And then we got dropped off, and yeah. Like,
okay, Thing is gonna go ahead and pull out the package of or one of the, packages of the special deer meat. And we've got we had a good hunt a while back before we left home, so we can contribute some of this really yummy venison. Just maybe don't ask where it came from.
Oh, that looks wonderful. I haven't had venison in a long time. I have a perfect, nice red wine that I could braise this in, some thyme, maybe a little bit of rosemary, some purple and white carrots. Oh my gosh, this is going to make an excellent addition to dinner. Thank you so very much. Please have a seat.
You're welcome. We've been nibbling on it for a few days, and yes, it's quite tasty. And then, yeah, I'm definitely going to make an awkward silence and then maybe back up a little bit. Because if she finds out where that came from and is not happy about it, I don't really want to be in the same room. Or on the same continent, if this is who I think it is.
Kadra is just kind of awkwardly, silently standing in the back.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
Yes.
How can I help?
Most of you look much stronger than me. Most of you. I have a well in the back, and I need some fresh water for cooking, so I can take some of this preserving salt off the meat before adding it to the stew, because I had already heavily flavored it beforehand. Could you maybe bring me in a couple of buckets of water from the well behind the house?
Absolutely.
Kadra heads that way.
Think of two.
Vex is gonna go up to Frigg as she's preparing and just kind of like try to help in any way she she thinks might be helpful, kind of like a small child would, helping their mother at dinner. So I'm probably being anti-helpful, but I'm trying.
I believe that's referred to as helping with an A.
Frigg is very patient and motherly with Vex. Whenever Vex starts helping doing something like maybe chopping the carrots and she's cutting them into big pieces, Frigg just very gently says, "No, no, dear, here, let me show you." And she takes a carrot and says, "See, one at a time. See the little lines on the carrot? It helps if you follow those. Just clap 1, 2, 3. Just go along very gently. It's very easy. Take your time. You're still learning."
Oh, thank you. No one ever
Adorable.
taught me how to cook. Um,
Oh
I
my
used to just
gosh.
eat things raw.
You've never been taught how to cook before. Oh, I have to teach you from scratch on how to make this soup. Come, I will show you.
Okay, and I'll
That's
just
the most
kind of hop.
adorable thing ever.
I don't mean to sound rude, but do you know how to read?
Mostly, and I know how to read these, and I'll pull out my runes and show them to her.
Uh-oh.
What are those? I've never seen them before.
The
Oh,
secret rocks.
well, I ask them questions, and sometimes they give me answers, but normally they just make me confused.
Oh, you can see things too?
What kind of things?
Well, like you said, you ask them questions and they give you answers.
Yeah. But my training in these wasn't great either, kind of like my cooking.
Let me show you something. Oh my gosh, I've never met anybody that does something similar to me before. And she grabs you and pulls you wistfully over to her like alchemy station that she has in her house. And there's like bookshelves and things all over. And she's got different bowls and herbs and animal bones and little bottles of colored liquids and a cauldron and things. And she sort of grabs this box and pulls this box out, and on the box is a spear and a picture of 2 other women on the outside of the box. And she opens up the box and she pulls out what looks like knuckle bones, but they're very, very, very large knuckle bones. And each of them has a talon, like a large talon attached to the end of it.
What do those come from?
These come from ancient dragons because they're the most powerful things in the land. But
I have a friend that's a dragon.
You do?
Yeah, but he also kind of abandoned us here in the middle of nowhere. So
What dragon is your friend?
um uh um oh, I'm so bad with names when I'm nervous.
Oh, you just tell me what color he is. I probably know him.
Green?
Like shiny green or bright dull green?
Oh, they all look shiny to me, but that's just because I think they're so cool.
Oh, hold on one second. She pulls a book off the shelf and she flips to a page, and you see 2 different color green dragons. One of them at the top is labeled Emerald Dragon, and the other one is labeled Green Dragon. And one is emerald green, and one of them is like a lime sort of green, one that would blend in with regular foliage and leaves in the forest really well. Which one does it look like?
I think the gem one, I think his name is Falky.
Falcor? Oh, isn't he so sweet? He abandoned you, you say?
Well, he just kind of said that he had to drop us off and not get involved, and then he did and went away. And then another guy, a kitty person on a big dragon, that one might have been red. He came and he was mean to us, but he went away.
Um, Well, you see, Falcor finds himself in a very delicate political position right now, so I can imagine that if he left you, it was for a reason.
Well, we did get to meet you, so that's cool. But what were you going to show me about these really cool dragon things?
Oh, yeah, so these knucklebones, they, whenever I say, the incantation that I have in my book here, I can tell parts of the future. And sometimes when I touch people, I can also see things. But I'm still kind of learning that. I'm very young. My mother, she was teaching me, but she passed away in the really big war that we had not that long ago. But I kind of been practicing on my own, and sometimes I can do it, and sometimes I can't. It's just one of those things that's kind of like maybe it works, maybe it doesn't.
That's how I feel. Sometimes the stones tell me stuff. Like the other day we were in a dream, and that one I think was a true answer to a question. But then sometimes they don't, and sometimes when I do things that I don't mean to happen. And that's why my family and my village, they made me go away when I was really young, and then Cora found me, and Cora's my favorite, and so are the rest of them. They're all my favorites, all of them.
I'm very sorry to hear that your family did that to you. No mother should ever turn their child away. And she pats you on the shoulder. It's okay. I'm glad that you have Cora, because having somebody that's like a mom is nice to have in your life, and I'm glad the rest of them are your favorites. We should go back to cooking. I'm sure they're hungry. That water is very, very heavy.
Yeah, I'll go back to cutting the carrots. I don't like carrots, but I'll try them.
What
That's
kind of
the like little kid, I don't like it, what is it? Mhm. Mhm.
Well, you said you don't like carrots, but have you ever tried these kind of carrots before? And she holds up a purple one.
No, I love purple. I'll try that carrot.
Well, it doesn't taste like purple, because purple tastes like death and the tears of 1,000 small children. But this one, it tastes very much sweeter than a regular carrot. It tastes a little bit sweeter, kind of like a candy carrot.
I'll try it. People always think that because I look like a bunny that I like carrots, and that's all that people ever wanted to give me. And yeah.
People tend to mistake me too, so I really understand. They think just because I'm like very sweet and innocent and pretty looking that I won't stab them with my spear if they hurt people that I care about.
Same. I get really angry when people try to hurt my friends.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of friends right now. I'm kind of involved in this like conclave thing, but I don't know if they're really my friends. They're really kind of awkward, and I don't know them very well. But there's one of them that I think is really kind of handsome. And well, anyway, we should finish cooking dinner.
Okay, I'll be your friend though.
I like friends. It's very nice to have friends. I'm glad we're friends, Vex.
Me too, Frig. And as we walk back to the kitchen, you can see that like my ears are kind of like doing a happy dance.
And she just like alongside you prepares vegetables and things for the stew, waiting for water to continue.
While Finka and Kadra are getting water, Kadra's just gonna, while they're, I guess, working on the bucket and the water. So she said her name was Frig, right?
That's what I heard. What do you think the chances are that she's the Frig?
Pretty good. Pretty good. She looks just like her.
I don't think I've ever seen an image of her that wasn't so stylized as to be difficult to attach to an actual person.
Okay, so trust me, she looks just like her, but a lot younger.
Younger?
I don't think she knows who she is yet, or she isn't what we think that she is yet. Does that make sense?
Interesting. We were told that we ended up quite a long time in the past. So
Way back.
if a goddess is so young as to be not quite, herself yet, how far back did we come? I feel like surely gods don't age like mortals do, so.
I don't know.
Your timeline, again, you are from 832 AD, and you are currently in 703 BG.
So 1,000 years plus.
1500, yes.
Yeah, okay. Right. Well, I'm really hoping that she's not offended by the special deer meat, and or she doesn't figure out what it is. Because that was sort of, I don't know, a moral, spiritual gray area when I shot it in the first place. I'm still not sure I feel entirely good about it, but hopefully she's not offended.
Hopefully not.
She seems nice.
Yeah. She can easily poison us, but hopefully she doesn't.
I mean, as long as she hasn't changed drastically
Right. Yeah.
as she aged, I feel like she'd need a pretty good reason to just murder us. Right?
Yeah.
I remember my, nursery stories correctly. I feel like she's not going to poison us for no good reason. But we should maybe be extra careful not to give her a reason.
Yep. I will try to be on my best behavior.
I wasn't. You were probably fine.
Maybe she'll get a kick out of Cora and Vex.
They are amusing out of context. Up until a point. Yeah, let's get back in there, just in case.
Cora, what are you doing while Kadra and Fink are getting water and Vex is enamored by Frigg?
She has questions, but she's very much seeing how much Vix is enjoying the attention, so she's just kind of examining to the best of her abilities, like this cottage, and just occasionally helping when needed, but content to just wait until there's a good time to ask things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kadra and Fink are coming back in now, right? Okay. Okay. So you see Vex and Frigg finishing up, getting all the vegetables prepared and tossed into the stew. The special deer meat kind of on the table, waiting with some spices and stuff to be rinsed. And Cora and Vex and Frigg just waiting for you two.
As they enter, Vex will excitedly hop over to them and say, look, I cut the carrots. Did I do a good job?
You did. Those purple ones are really pretty.
Yeah, and Frigg says that they'll taste really yummy, so I'm gonna try them, even though I don't like carrots.
You think you don't like carrots.
I didn't think I liked mushrooms.
And to be fair, those few times you kind of stayed the night at... We may or may not have kind of cut the vegetables really small and slip that into your food.
What?
We had to. The vegetables are good for you.
Vex is just gonna like sit down in absolute shock and betrayal, questioning everything she knows about what she likes to eat.
Oh, I didn't know when a good time to tell you was gonna be.
Don't be offended, darling. She just does it out of love. Sometimes mothers have to make decisions for the betterment of their children that the children maybe might not like or understand at the time, but you'll think her when you're older, when the beta carotenes from the carrots have made your eyes as sharp as an eagle's.
I know. It's just. Oh.
It's okay. Liking carrots doesn't make you a stereotypical rabbit if that's what you're concerned about.
I am not a rabbit.
I know, that's what I'm telling you. That's why liking carrots is okay.
She's very quickly gonna like shake that off and then go sit at the table and be like, everyone else can help now. I helped a lot.
Okay. You did. You did very well. Best cut carrots ever.
Have you ever had chocolate goat's milk before?
What?
Would you like to try some? It's a recipe that my grandmother taught me.
Yes, please.
So you see her get this like pitcher off of the shelf, and she kind of pours it into a little pot, and then she pulls out this cloth off of one of her like little cooking shelves that's got her storage and stuff on it, and she unwraps it, and you see this brown sort of block in the middle of it, and you see her take a knife and like shave some of the stuff off the block, and then she scoops it into the pan and she puts it over the fire and melts it, and you see her kind of like mix it up, and the goat's milk goes from its like normal milky color to like a darker brown kind of color, and she pours it into a little mug, and she puts this little fluffy flower shaped confectionery on the top of it, and when she sticks it into it, it kind of like blooms open, and it's got all kinds of different colors in it, and she hands it to you. Here you go.
I'm just gonna be like stunned, speechless as I sip my chocolate with the pretty flower, and just yeah. Vex doesn't want to leave.
And she finishes doing like the rest of dinner stuff, and you guys help do all of the things. And she gets it off the fire after it cooks, and she serves up a bowl of stew and braised venison to everybody and sits down at the table and dinner. This is very nice. I haven't had company in a long time.
Thank you for welcoming us so much.
Yes. Really, thank you.
Yes,
And
thank
the
you
love
for
of
your
men.
hospitality. It's lovely.
You've been super nice. It's awesome. I'm gonna be sad when we have to leave.
Well, you can always come back and visit. You know where my cottage is.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very true.
Have you ever had a crush before?
Not really, no.
Not recently.
Oh, well, never mind then.
You
can
can't
talk.
just start a sentence like that and then expect it to just drop off. That's not how conversations work.
Well, I was just thinking about friends and how I don't really have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people that want me to help them all the time. People who want to start families and have babies and get married and all of that kind of thing. And animal husbandry, I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff too. But I was thinking about friends, and then I just thought about, well, I really don't have any friends, and it was nice to have you guys. And then it made me think about the conclave, and then I got to thinking of the conclave, and then I got to thinking of Odin. And when I met Odin at the conclave, oh my gosh, he was just so handsome, and he had these pretty, pretty blue eyes, and it just made me think of him again.
Oh, did you say
I'm sorry,
Odin?
could we backtrack? Just
I kind of like knee Finka under the table.
What's the conclave? What does it do?
Well, so the dragons, wait a minute. How come you don't know this?
We are very stupid.
No, we're just not around here.
Yeah, we come from a really long time away.
We're not familiar with the politics here.
Oh, do you live under the rocks or something?
I lived in mountains. Does that count?
Yeah, I've met some mountain people before. They did kind of look like you. They were a bit strange. Okay, I understand. So the conclave, right? Okay, so Falcor, he's a dragon and he's nice and he doesn't eat people. You noticed that, right? So
Yes.
not all dragons are as nice as Falcor. And for a really long time, the dragons were oppressive and would kill us and stuff. Do you remember that time in the world? Well, so we're kind of past that after having the big war. And, after the big war, the Council of the Lands kind of came together and met with the dragons to try to have a ceasefire and stuff. And they did. And it just turned into this political arrangements where now there's a conclave of these chosen young folks like me all around from every different land, and we're supposed to be bonding with dragons or something. And I don't know, it's just kind of this really awkward phase. We're kind of breaking out of what used to be this communist dictatorship more into this socialist kind of everybody works for everybody. So I don't know. I don't really understand it. I prefer my cottage here. But yeah, so the conclave is the mortal folks like me that are meant to represent the rest of the population of mortal folks at the Dragon Council. And we're also meant to be the bonds of the next bonded group of dragon riders.
And your Odin is one of these conclave members?
Yeah, he is. He has the most beautiful blue eyes. He's gonna bond with the sapphire dragon, I think. No, the blue one. The one that shoots lightning. Yeah, the blue one. It's the blue one.
Which one are you going to bond to?
A green one, but not like Falcor.
I'm going to lean over to Kadra and just sort of whisper under my breath while she's saying all of this. Did she say she's mortal?
And he has 2 eyes.
Did I miss that in my nursery stories?
No.
Okay.
Did we?
Can you take us to meet your friends?
Well, the conclave is a secret meeting whenever we go, and they make us leave people outside. And my dad gets really mad that they won't let the security detail come in with me, and I really have to fight with him on a regular basis to keep him out of my swamp anyways. But I don't know if I could really take you there. I know that we're friends, but I don't even really know you and stuff. And I think that the rest of the party of the conclave would be a little kind of what's a nice way to put it, pissed off if I brought others into their business. They kind of Odin is handsome, but he has this kind of sparky personality, and he gets a little bit of a temper.
Under her breath, Finga hears Kadra go, "Yep, I know it."
Yeah. So one of the reasons that we were sent this way is that apparently we're supposed to help with this arrangement with the dragons to try to get some of the less civilized breeds to come along into this truce.
Oh, the elders. Yeah, that really makes sense because even though I'm supposed to bond with the green dragon, I haven't even got to meet him yet because so from my understanding there's like, I don't know, 3 different kinds of dragons, which I thought a dragon was a dragon. I didn't know that they had to be all different, but some of them are like chromatic colors and some of them are like metallic colors and some of them are like gems, like Falcor, he's like an emerald. And like the ones that are metallics and the gem ones seem to like be a little bit more nice. The gem ones are the easiest ones to work with, and I am really upset that I didn't get to get bonded with Falcor because he is fantastic and I would have loved to be able to ride him. And he has the prettiest green scales that I've ever seen, and they're the same color as my swamp, and the lights of my swamp are the same color as his scales too because I really liked him, so I changed him from the color of my dragon to his. But anyway, so
Falcor's
yes.
the easy one.
Why
Yes,
do you
he's very nice.
why do you think you wouldn't get to be bonded with Falcor?
Well, because Falcor, he can't be bonded with. But so the chromatic dragons, they are usually not very nice, and so like the ancient ones of the dragon elders, they kind of really hate the mortals, and so like the young ones that we're supposed to be bonded with are kind of like on the fence because of the elders. And I don't know, they've got like this grandma or something and her name starts with a T, but I can't remember, but she's just supposed to be like this terrible dragon queen and nobody really likes her. But yeah, so it makes sense that we need help getting all of the dragons to cooperate because they're kind of fucking difficult.
We've
Except for Falcor.
noticed.
So where can we find some dragons then?
Well, I
We
know
were sent to negotiate with the tribes, like between the tribes and the dragons, because we just got here and are sort of neutral in this whole business. And by neutral, I mean we have no fucking idea what's going on. But apparently that makes a good negotiator.
I mean, what is it that they used to say a really long time ago? I think I heard my grandma say it once or 1,000 times. Ignorance is bliss.
I've heard that a lot too.
I think
Normally-
Yeah.
Don't really get it.
I mean, I guess because the less you know, like, the less you have to worry about. Kind of like more acorns, more squirrels kind of problems, you know?
I mean, you can know things, you can just choose not to see it as important.
Yeah, but how many people that know a lot of things that you have ever met before really think that the fact that they know a lot of things doesn't make them better than other people, or that those things are like super important just because they know them? You know, like the smarty pants know-it-all kind?
Yeah, I don't really interact with those people. It's more like,
Me neither.
okay, random knowledge. This will be useful at some point. I don't know when.
As you're kind of sitting around and having this conversation, you see 2 foxes come in the back kind of door, and they just come quietly and curl up, one around each of Frigg's feet.
Okay, that's adorable.
Cuties.
So we weren't given much information about this diplomatic mission. We were given the basics of the politics, and that's about it. This conclave that you're talking about, does it seem like you are the ones that we're supposed to be negotiating with? Or are we trying to get the cranky chromatic dragons to join the conclave?
I think, and I'm really kind of at the low end of the totem pole of these kind of conversations, but I think maybe you're probably supposed to convince both. because, just because we have the conclave doesn't mean that we still don't have mortals who are absolutely against this too. Don't think that everybody is bending over backwards and handing over themselves willingly, because the dragons, they wrought havoc for a very long time across Sumerkula.
So do you think it might be helpful if we talked to the conclave first to sort of get the lay of the land and who is being most resistant?
Well,
or will they just not see us at all and we should wait until we've got something to show them?
Maybe a mix kind of in the middle. I wouldn't recommend presenting yourself to the conclave without having something to show for yourselves.
That's fair.
While I think you're friendly, no offense, but I don't really find you very impressive. So coming in front of the entire conclave with nothing to offer probably wouldn't really get you anywhere. And like I said, Odin is the leader of our conclave, and he kind of has a temper.
So I've
don't want
heard.
to make Odin mad.
He's totally hot, though, and I think that if we would have babies together, that would be really awesome. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I really would like it if it did.
You know what? If you want it badly enough, you can make it happen.
I feel like the odds are in your favor.
That feels really nice to hear. I tried to ask my dragon bones, and they didn't really give me an answer, but like I said, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Which, by the way, do you ever, see weird stuff in your dreams, like stuff you would normally get from your bones instead?
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes I see things that other people don't see, and they think I'm a little crazy.
Okay, is there a way to kind of fix that to where you don't see things as often? Or
Unfortunately, the gift of clairvoyance is more than just a gift. It's kind of like a curse, too.
Okay. I see.
So, what do you think the conclave and Odin would find impressive for us to bring or show?
That.
Well, we really only have the allegiance of, the actual official stamped in writing allegiance of, 2 dragons. So maybe if you could convince 1 or 2 more before you came, that might be helpful.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, as long as Finka's not the one that leads those conversations.
So
maybe not Cora either.
What's wrong with me?
I love you, but yeah.
Where can we find more dragons that you think might be open and amenable?
Well,
on the fence.
So usually I don't like to play games of bargaining. I just like to be straightforward, but I think that I kind of have a bargaining chip in this. And if you could convince my dragon first, and then that would be awesome, because I would really like to be able to actually meet my dragon, and I kind of have the upper hand to meeting the middleman. So that's really cool that you came to visit me first. So I like that idea. But I would 100% give you my vote at council to be seen if you could get my green dragon first.
So the dragon you're supposed to bond with, you've never met, and is not even part of this conclave.
Well, he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be, right? But, like I said, the chromatic dragons, the ancient ones, are kind of cunty. So the younger ones are struggling with that. They're struggling, right? With do we listen to our parents, or do we stick it to the man and do what we want to do? So he, I guess, wanted to, but he just hasn't been able to come to the meetings. I don't know. It would be helpful to know why.
What's his name?
I don't know.
I
Do you
never
know-
got to meet him.
Do you know where we can find him? Because I'll just go up to him and I'll tell him that you cook really nice and you're super sweet, and that anyone would want to bond with you if they had the chance, and that he'd be silly if he didn't, and then I know he'll come.
If we were playing TSL, I would ask you if you were smitten and pull a string.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives.
Where
I
is the
know
dragon?
in the swamp, right? Like, that's kind of why I wanted to live here. Actually, I was just kidding about the real estate. I thought it would be funny. I like to make jokes sometimes. I don't really have friends, so the chances that I get to use my silly jokes are just good. But so I kind of picked the swamp because the ancient dragon has a lair in the swamp, and I assumed that's where the young dragon would probably also want to be. Okay, we'll go talk to him. I am all for helping you first.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Yep.
In payment for supper, if nothing else.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. I would really like it if I could meet. I know he's supposed to be a boy. That's all I really know. I don't even know what his real name or anything is.
That was going to be my next question. But
I have just been calling him Shrek because he lives in the swamp and he's green. I mean, it's as good a name as any for right now. Well, my grandma used to tell me a story when I was young. My grandma, her name was Fiona. And when I was young, she used to tell me stories of a man who was green and he lived in a swamp, and she thought he was very handsome. And so I figured that my dragon would be handsome if dragons could be handsome. So I thought Shrek was a good name for him.
Did he have a talking donkey?
I don't know. She never really mentioned, but I've seen a house fly and I've seen a super fly, but I've never seen a donkey fly.
oh dear. Okay.
Well,
That's good.
I hate to be a bother, but do you suppose that maybe we could like sleep on your floor, and then in the morning we'll head out and find your dragon friend?
Yeah, you can stay here. I have some camping cots that I could put up, or you could even put a tent outside if you want. The myconids won't bother you now that they know you're friendly. Okay, that's very kind of you.
It's as good a place as any, and it'll be more dry.
And don't worry, my foxes will protect you.
That's nice of them.
Yay!
Do you know what? I decided when I moved to the swamp what I was going to name it. Do you know what I wanted to name this swamp? What? My cottage, anyway. I wanted to name it Fenslier.
That is
a
a
good
wonderful name.
Excellent name.
It's a good name. In the language that I learned when I was growing up, it just translates to Fen Halls, and I have 2 foxes, so I figured it was just makes sense. It does. I like it.
Lovely.
It's very sound logic.
Perfect. Everyone will be able to remember that name.
Yeah, and in the morning, I'll make everybody waffles.
I love
Even
waffles.
better.
Okay. I'm going to get some rest, too. You can have a good night.
Thank you, Frigg.
Good night, Frigg.
Good night.
Thank you again for your hospitality.
Yeah, and she leaves you to sleep, and she goes to her own sleep space. And